Hey guys, welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And this is episode 16 of the top arena defenses and why they work. And I haven't done a video like this since December 11th of last year. So I'm super excited to get back into this series because I haven't done it in such a long time. But I also haven't posted a video in a long time. But as you can see, there is a super neat high-tech backdrop behind me. Also, the lighting's a little bit better, the camera's a little bit clearer. You can see all the little blemishes on my face and all the shaving that I need to do. But let's go ahead and get right into it here because we are on the new account that I have. I actually rushed Rush Hour yesterday on my old account because I still play that account a lot. I just like to do stuff on this account for you guys because it's new, it's fun, it's exciting, and I hope you guys enjoy it because this is showing you guys bomb AOs and why they don't work against certain arena defenses. So this is rank 9 that we're starting at here. So let's go ahead and pull up our list and we're just going to refresh it completely so that way we have a full list for us. And we have a Spire here with the exclamation point. Let's go ahead and just put on our bomb team and see how it works against them. Alright, so our bomb team obviously consists of Sierra here, and she is built Violent Will with attack slot 2, attack slot 4, and attack slot 6. Pretty basic for most bombers, really. And we also have Malaka here. I just re-runed it during free rune removal, so it doesn't have completely powered up runes, but as you can see, again, attack slot 2, attack slot 4, not even fully maxed, and then attack slot 6 as well. So we have room for improvement, but we're still going to see how it works here with this. If it starts to fail, then we're going to go ahead and just update the runes because I didn't know that they were like that, but we're going to do that anyway because we already started the video. And we have the Tiana here, which is Swift Will, pretty basic, speed, crit damage, attack, because the more damage that Tiana does, the better it is for your team. And to be on Swift Will is the best way to do it. And then we have, rounding off the top 4 here for the bomb AO, is Galleon with just a little bit more speed than everybody else, and pretty much speed, attack, accuracy, but really having still some nice subsets where he's got about 25,000 HP and some pretty decent attacks. Let's just go ahead and hit start and see what happens. Alright, so his Orion was actually faster than my Tiana, being about 158 speed, plus the 24% speed leader from Sierra. Good thing though is that he actually derped his first skill. So we're gonna go ahead and hit Swift and time to loot. Now we have a violent proc from Galleon here, but we're gonna go ahead and test the Rakan. We're gonna test the Rakan because we want to see if we can kill it with one single bomb. If not, then we might have to double bomb the Molly here if we have a chance for it, because we may not even have a chance to double bomb anybody because we might need to just bomb somebody because the accuracy is wrong. So we could probably single bomb the Rakan. So if we do hit Rakan with one bomb, we don't need a double Rakan. We'll save the double bomb for Molly. So let's go ahead and double bomb Molly. Did it and let off the bombs. Alright, Rakan just barely squeaked by the thick of his skin, and we could pretty much finish it off here. So that was Aspire's defense, but I do want to take a look at Aspire's runes because the Orion was super fast. So Aspire started with a Orion leader here, which is 190 plus speed. So that's 296 speed total with Swift non-will. So I could have used a Leo against him and probably had a little bit better luck, but let's take a look at the resistance. Not too much resistance either, not too much accuracy. So I could have even done probably a shield will cleave comp and not had to worry too much about getting anything removed, but definitely a lot of nice HP, a lot of nice speed from his Orion. He also had a Camila on his defense here, built a violent Nemesis, and we can kind of go through his runes here real quick, but we're going to take a look at his overall stats because that's what really matters on Camila. But you can see super nice speed. I actually love seeing Camila's over plus 106 speed, or just over plus 100 speed really is super nice. But then 71% crit rate is pretty decent, crit damage is pretty decent, but you really want to have at least 30,000 HP on Camila, and he definitely does with some decent attack. So overall, a very well built Camila, so he should be proud of that. Good job, Spire. And Rakan here with a 38,000 HP Rakan. Again, super fast even with as much HP as he has. Decent crit rate, decent crit damage. Built Vampire will, just like any Recon should be. I actually recommend building Recon Vampire over Violence or any other build so much because he can completely solo you know, Lucian teams and things like that. So definitely build your Recon Vampire if you have the runes. And lastly, he had a Molly in his defense that we double bombed here. Let's see if we made a good decision though. But first off, to go over his runes: HP, 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 as I suspected. Decent resistance. Again, really nice speed. Even though he has triple HP, really making sure that he has those speed substats to kind of help balance off the HP build. But 41,000, 42,000 HP, super nice to see. It was definitely the right decision to double bomb Molly, because for Molly, if she would have just violent procced one time, if she weren't to be killed on the first turn, she could have removed the bombs or removed the stun from the Recon that was still left over, and that Recon could have potentially soloed my team being on Vampire. So you guys got to think about these things when you're building your defense and how you want them to play against certain arena offenses, such as a bomb AO. So next up we have HSNYDOP. I don't know exactly how to say his name, but he is running a Water Fairy King Recon, Triton, and Bernard combination. So I'm not sure if his Bernard has will or not. This would be something that once you get up to higher rank arena, you can actually go ahead and click on their name just like I'm doing in these videos to see if they have will before you actually attack them, and then kind of remember who has will when you're going through rush hour, because you're fighting a lot of the same people over and over. For this guy, most of the time though, I do lose on this account. I do pretty well on my other account against this guy, but for this one, I don't really have very many options against him. So with using the bomb AO, I really have to hope that somebody derps along the way, because if everybody gets their skills off in a complete, concise manner, it's going to be GG right off the bat. I probably won't even get a turn off, and if I do, I will be at such low health. Probably 3 of my monsters will already be dead, and it'll just be my Tiana left with a couple HP left, but let's see how it actually plays out. So no will on the Bernard. He did use his skill to remove my will runes. Cool, sounds good. And the super OP, just, you know, I'm gonna remove all your skills and everything because Samath is awesome, and you know, whatever, I'm not salty or anything. But yeah, so I have no skills, and it's pretty much, yeah, there's nothing really I can do. So let's just go ahead and take a look at his runes though. This is a super common arena defense though in Guardian 3 Arena. So here's his Water Fairy King. He has plus 101 speed, so he's around 200, 199 speed total. He has a lot of attack. HP doesn't really matter a whole lot on Smath, because you want to just, you really want to die for the most part. You want to die, use an AoE, you want to use another AoE, and just really mess up the other person's team. But he has decent crit rate, decent crit damage as well on him, with considering the amount of speed that he has. And then also not a whole lot of accuracy or resistance. You would typically want to see a little bit more off of Water Fairy King, but still he does his job because he's just a broken monster in general. But speed, crit damage, attack pretty basic here, and a lot of attack speed subs and everything else. Next, he also had a Recon on his defense, so as you guys can see though, pretty decent speed and HP. I think Aspire's was a little bit better than his, but overall, again, Vampire, HP, crit damage, HP. This time he used Destroy runes, probably because he has some pretty good Destroy runes, as you can see. A lot of HP, a lot of attack, a lot of defense, really everything that you really want on Recon. So I can see why he went with the Destroy runes instead. Next, he had a Triton here with pretty decent speed, 133. A lot of accuracy though, and 133 speed though, built on Revenge here. Revenge Despair is actually pretty good. So it doesn't have to be the fastest thing in the world, as long as it doesn't get cut in between his Bernard and his Triton, then he's perfectly fine, because he's going to be decreasing the attack bar down to, you know, his Water Fairy King and his Recon, and everybody else can get their hits off after that. And lastly, he has a Bernard here with 296 speed total. Pretty nice resistance. It's not on will, but since he has nice resistance, it does have some game against Leos, and really just overall just as fast as you could possibly get. But if you guys think about it, what other counters could be possible to this type of arena defense. So you can Leo it, you could probably try to Lucian it, but because he has that thick Rakan there, you're not going to be able to really Lucian it 100% of the time successfully, because Rakans, they really have a mind of their own. For some reason, they will counter every single time, and sometimes they will never counter ever again in their entire life, and you're wondering, does he have his skill up? Did he ever use his skill? And then you find out he does. He's just not countering at all. So it's really kind of hit or miss, but just the fact that there's RNG based in Rakan, you don't typically want to Lucian them, especially with needing to have a speed Lucian, because you're probably not going to be able to outspeed a Bernard Water Fairy King unless you use some type of speed leader plus a Kabila or plus a Bernard that's faster than the other person's, and you're going to have to resort to using 2 speed Lucians that are not going to be attack boosted, or they're not going to have an attack power leader skill. Alright, so we're going to move on to Huck Jai here. Huck Jai has a Chiwu lead with Orion, Rakan, and the Camilla here. So this is a little bit less potent than the previous AD, but it still has a lot of the same components. It has the speed leader, it has a buff gauger, and it has the thick Rakan for the Lucian game. I don't know if Camilla would really be the best option, but Camilla is a good option for this arena defense. So let's go ahead and take a look. Though it really comes down to speed. I would imagine that his Orion is going to get off first, but I should be able to come back with my Tiana, as long as it doesn't get stunned by this one. I should be able to cut in between his Chiwu, his Orion, and his other 2 monsters here, and then successfully bomb them with my Malaka and Sierra. That's the plan. Let's see how it works out. You never know. Alright, so just as I expected, the Orion went first, didn't bounce, didn't use his 3rd skill again. I'm not sure how we're getting so lucky, but let's go ahead and boost up. We're going to go ahead and time the loot. Hit the time bomb here. We missed the Camilla, so we're going to hit Camilla with Sierra. Pop it off. And of course we missed the Chiwu, and then Chiwu got a lot of his health back. Actually, he didn't get a lot of his health back. I thought he would get more. But, I mean, it's pretty much GG, because even though you might have the perfect defense, if one thing goes wrong on these speed arena defenses, then you're probably not going to beat the team that's fighting you. So that's kind of what you guys want to keep in mind as well. Alright, so we're going to take a look at Huck Jai's runes here for his monsters. He has an Orion with 286 speed. That's all that really matters. Really nice accuracy on his Orion though still, and some decent HP. He has Swift Will, which is perfect. With having 286 speed Swift Will, that is actually a really nicely built Orion because of these subsets here. 22 speed on that Will rune, 28 speed, 24 speed on that other Will rune, and he has a lot of room for improvement on this slot 6 rune. But as you can see, he went accuracy on slot 6 to help build his monster up with the accuracy, because if you don't remove Will, if you don't remove shield, the Orion's not going to really do as good of a job as he probably could built a different way. So here we have his Camilla, which is actually pretty nice. It's a little slow, but like I said, that gives me the opportunity to cut in between his Orion and his Chiwu. Now if his Camilla was a little bit faster, that would make it harder for me to come between, but this definitely was not going before my Tiana was going, so it did leave his team a little bit susceptible, but it was built very well, very tanky, very damage dealing, 90% crit rate, 174% crit damage. It's just slow and wouldn't have been able to cut in between my monsters. That's the only thing there. And then he also had a Rakan with 71 speed, so it's a little better. Decent crit rate. I would like to see a little bit higher, but crit damage is pretty okay. And then some nice HP. So he has Vampire, crit damage, HP, crit damage, HP. Just like any other Rakan should be built. And he still has some room to build up his Rakan a little bit more on those 1, 3, and 5 slots there. But let's go ahead and take a look at his last monster, which was the Chiwu. So Chiwu is plus 119 speed, decent HP, but really nice accuracy really is what it's all about, because he's able to remove all the buffs on my team pretty consistently. And then Despair Will is probably the best option for Chiwu as well. It's definitely needs to be Despair. If it's not Despair, it's not a Chibu, because that's really what other job does he have is to strip stun. It's really the only options that he has. So accuracy on slot 2, I mean on slot 6 is kind of alright. I would probably want to see that with HP because he is a little bit squishy. He almost died to my 1 bomb. So overall though, a decent arena defense. And like I said though, once those speed defenses kind of realize that every single time one of their monsters doesn't do something correctly that they're going to lose their arena defense. Hopefully you guys change your defense minds, but I mean this has been pretty predominant for all of G3, G2, and I think even down to G1 arena. This is all you're gonna see is pretty much speed defenses and maybe a few stall defenses here and there, but that's about it. So I went ahead and refreshed because I wanted to see if I can get Scat Fetus, who is rank number 2 right now, but he has a fun defense on. And if you guys don't know, he has a lot of LD Nat 5. So here we can see he has a Kraka, he has this Nigong, he has Aerial and Velajewel. And you would think that this is pretty easy to bomb, but I can almost guarantee you it's got a whole ton of HP and defense, and it's just going to be a mess to try to bomb this team with a lot of resistance. I guarantee you this is not going to be fun, but I wanted to show you guys because it has a lot of cool monsters that you might not have seen before. So let's just go ahead and say Winds of Change. Alright, step 1 down. Let's go ahead and time the loot. We missed the time to loot, but I'm debating whether I want to use this skill on the Velajewel or if I want to try to take a little bit of the HP off of the Kraka here as much as possible, really, because if I can kill the Kraka, I have a chance. So I'm going to go ahead and use Pirate Strike on Kraka. Alright, so she could pretty much die from 1 bomb. I think that'll be okay. And we missed the aerial, so we got to do the aerial. And we fucking missed it again. And Holy Water comes in. It's done. It's over. There's no way. There's no way. Alright, so we're back in the same situation. We're going to go ahead and use Tiana first, as always, of course. And we're going to use Time to Loot. Again, we missed the Velajewel. This looks like deja vu right now. Alright, so now we hit everybody. But as we saw in that last round, the Velajewel came back with a vengeance and revived everybody. I'm probably going to go ahead and double bomb Nigong. If I can double bomb the Nigong, I think that he's probably my biggest threat right now, because if he comes back to life, it's really, God, the resistance though, like I have 90-something% accuracy. Oh my God. You see what I'm talking about though? Now I'm in a fucking shit situation right now, because Perfect Soul, they come back. Here's this bitch. Comes back to life. I need to kill you, because if you come back to life, Holy Water, oh my God, holy shit is what I'm talking about. Oh my God, okay. So we're gonna try one more time here, and that is it, because I'm tired of losing to Scat Fetus. He was in my stream last night, if you guys haven't heard, but he pretty much comes on my streams every night. So if you guys want to talk to Scat Fetus, I would say come to my streams on a Sunday. But alright, so we got the double bomb off on Nigong. We got everybody off on a bomb here, so let's go ahead and set him off. We stunned, no violent procs. We should be okay. I don't see us having a problem after that. Yeah, so pretty much GG, but the fact that he has a lot of resistance built on his team, bombs are really reliant on RNG accuracy. If they get resisted, there's really nothing you can do. You're just left with your dick in your hand just sitting there, because you can't really do anything about it. But let's go ahead and take a look at Scat's runes here real quick and see how much resistance he has on them. Alright, so first off, he had this aerial here, and right away you can see 83% resistance, 117 speed, nice HP, nice defense as well, and his runed Nemesis, Nemesis Will. That's like the best way to rune aerial these days, because it pretty much counters any type of Lucian offense, because they just revive your team, heal everybody up, put this big old 3-turn heal on your team as well, and also increase your attack bar boost. Like it got really buffed. And I mean, defense on slot 4 helps lose HP, which is what you're supposed to be doing on an aerial, because you don't want to be too tanky with a lot of HP, because if you have too much HP you don't lose enough, so your nemesis doesn't proc enough. Does that make sense? Okay. Next he had the Veligil here with plus 142 speed. Not a whole lot of resistance on the Veligil, so I'm surprised he resisted a lot of my Galleon's time to loot, a lot of bombs, a lot of everything really. Nice HP on it, but the defense on this is super crazy. So let's just take a look at his runes. I'm guessing it's speed, HP, defense, yep, with a whole bunch of substats here, and pretty much 20 speed on all of his runes at least, and a whole bunch of, you know, defense, HP percent, everything that you want on a Veligil. So not only is it super fast, but it's also super tanky, which is really what you're looking for. And lastly, his 2 LD monsters. We had a Nigong with 100% resistance. Of course, I was almost 100% sure that he had 100% resistance. I was hoping that he had 100% resistance. But he's got about 46,000 HP, and really nice speed, nice defense, just tanky overall, and violent nemesis. So pretty much he's just a rock, and then it has that revive skill, and it just pretty much trolls people, and it's a rock that you could just place on your defense. And the fact that he has this pretty nice leader skill as well. He wasn't using it, Scat wasn't using it, he used the defense leader skill, but he also has a 33% HP leader skill. Nigong is actually really good, and if you guys are wondering how to rune him, I would say try to match what he has. And then lastly, his Kraka, which also has about 45,000 HP on it, 63% resistance. So again, not a horrible amount of resistance, but he does have a decent amount. All you really need is that 63 just to set off that RNG resist just enough. But again, not only does he have nice HP, but he also has nice defense. And then his runes are HP, 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 Violence, Will, which you should be doing on your Krakas as well. But alright guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I know with the previous videos that I've been making, this might be a breath of fresh air to do some, at least a little educational type video for you guys. But don't worry, I'm not gonna go a whole bunch one way, a whole bunch the next way. I'm gonna just kind of spread the love around. But if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, stay soupy, don't be potatoes, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.